Catching up today with Tommy Apap, Admirals forward. It says it's great to say Admirals forward because you have re-signed. It's been a heck of a summer for you. You've had a lot going on, Tommy. Good to see you, by the way.
Great to see you too, Aaron. And yeah, it's been a good summer. It's a little coaching going on. We had a fundraiser game, signed back in Milwaukee. So yeah, it's been a blast.
Let's start with the most recent thing, re-signing in Milwaukee. The process for you, what was it like?
It was well, obviously I had to wait a little bit just to see where other guys were signing, and like I was called up last year, so I knew I had a chance maybe to come back or to see where else I could play, but I obviously really wanted to come back, so waited a couple days into free agency, and then I got a call, Scott Nickel, and he was telling me, and my agent told me too, and they're like, "We want to have you back." So I said, "Let's do it." And then I was fired up to come back. I was hoping to the whole time, but I was like, "Oh man, I don't know what else is out there. We'll see." But then uh, Milwaukee called me, and I said, "For sure, I'm coming back."
What's it like for you? You said you had to, you said that you used the word obviously, I believe, when you said I had to wait
Yeah.
for a while.
Well, yeah.
What
Well,
is it like July 1st or July 1st, July 13th, when you say obviously and you're watching, like
yeah.
there's things happening right at noon Central
Thank,
Time or 1 o'clock Central Eastern Time, right? I mean, what
yeah.
is it like for you?
Well, I kind of knew nothing would be happening for me that day. Um, just because, like I said, like the NHL guys got assigned and so forth. So then um, I wasn't gonna. I knew nothing would really happen that day immediately, and I haven't even had a full season in the AHL. Like I came up around Christmas time, so um, I knew I'd have to wait a couple days, and even at that point, when you know you got to wait, you're still a little nervous. You want to see what happens. So um, especially when you see like a lot of guys signing and stuff, and then you're like, oh man, I wonder if there's even going to be any spots left. So when they called me and there was, I told them for sure I'm going to make the most of it. I'm going to give it everything I have every day, and I'm really excited to be back in Milwaukee. But yeah, the process itself was a little nerve wracking.
When you mentioned you were called up around Christmas time,
Mm-hmm.
um, COVID was hitting every team in hockey
Yeah,
hard at that point, and it's such a fortunate bounce, so to speak, for you, and the fact that you were called up and you weren't the 13th forward, you were in the lineup right away and skating 16
yeah,
minutes a night and all of that. You got to play, you got to show your stuff.
yeah, 100%. I didn't know, so like when they called me up, I knew they told me they had a couple guys with COVID, and I think even Nashville had COVID, and a couple guys got called up there. So it was a whole process, but I got in right away and I got some minutes, and I got pretty lucky with that. And I tried to make the most of it, and then um, COVID, yeah, it kind of lingered on, and I didn't even. It was weird what was happening, and then so I thought I did the best I could while I was in there, and like you said, yeah, without COVID, I mean, I don't know if I ever would have got called up to Milwaukee. So um, I know COVID's brutal, but just that situation, um, I felt pretty lucky to get called up, and
It's
especially to
the
a
it's
team like Milwaukee.
it's the oldest story, right? Like players look for an opportunity. Like,
Yeah,
Lou Gehrig had to wait for Wally Pipp needed to have a headache for Lou Gehrig to play the next 2,100 games. Like
yeah,
that
yeah,
stuff like that happens. You need the opportunity.
yeah, exactly. So um, I'm no Lou Gehrig, but yeah, similar situation there. And but yeah, literally just got to make the most of your opportunity, and when that came up, that's what I tried to do.
One of my it's a two-part thing. One of my curiosities of this past season
Hmm.
revolves around you, and one of my great disappointments of this past season revolves around you. And it was the same thing. It was you were credited with your first AHL goal. And
Yeah,
nobody knew at the time that it was yours. There was a lot of guessing, and I think the score
yeah,
sheet changed 3, 4, 5 times before
yeah.
they finally.
Exactly. Yeah, it was a little pinball play, and I was right in front of the net, and I don't even know who shot. I think Blue might have shot it. That might have hit Schneid's, and then it hit my foot, and then and then it went in, but I didn't know if I was the last person to touch it. So I didn't like Shelly really right away, but um, they ended up changing it, gave me it, my first AHL goal right off the foot. And I mean, not that that's the way you think about scoring when you're going to bed thinking about the game the next day, but that's what happens. I'll take it.
So do you get a puck? Because normally somebody retrieves the puck, but at that time with all that chaos, did anybody think about taking a puck or anything for you?
Yeah, they gave me a puck. I don't know if it was the same puck because it was a little later, but they gave me a puck somewhere.
Somebody
Down
went out to Fred Berry's store and picked up a puck. Yeah.
yeah, they might have they might have decided, hey, let's just get this guy a puck, might as well. But yeah, it wasn't right off the bat that I got one.
I'm looking back, and one of the reasons, one, you're you're a talented hockey player. You're such a nice guy. And I was looking up your coach in college, and this is 2018. This quote comes from. So you're what, a junior, maybe a sophomore in 2018?
I'm pretty sure I was
right between them,
sophomore.
right?
Yeah, sophomore. Either end
And
of
he
freshman
talks
year or
about
beginning of sophomore year.
he talked about what a leader you are, Danton Cole. And I mean, this is a guy who knows his hockey. He has had success at every level, and he calls you a true leader. And I'm like, where does that come from for you?
Probably just how I was raised and the example I had with both my parents. I also like growing up, I had a lot of older cousins that just kind of led by example for me. And growing up, I was a Red Wings fan. So watching Stevie Y, Nick Lidstrom, Zetterberg. So in hockey, in that sense, and Pavel Datsyuk, watching all those guys and the way they led and the way they like really just treated their teammates and led by example. So I like that aspect of it. And then I think my parents just did a good job raising me, my brother, and my sister, and the fact that like they taught us to have manners, they taught us to be polite, and those are all important things. How you treat people is very important. So that's very nice of him in that comment to say that when I was here at Michigan State. But I think that's probably where it stems from, I'd say.
Yeah. How nice is it? You mentioned being a fan of the Red Wings and the names you threw out there. How nice is it to be a kid and your team is good?
Yeah, it is nice. It was nice growing up. The only bad thing is, though, I will say about being a Wings fan when I was growing up is they were in the Western Conference. They'd be playing like San Jose, Anaheim. I'd be begging my parents to
3
stay up.
hours later, yeah.
Yeah, the game starts at 10 p.m. and I'm just like, Mom, Dad, can I stay up, watch the game? Come on. My dad would always let me. My mom would be like, you got school tomorrow, you gotta go to bed. So, but sometimes she'd crack. I knew how to push her buttons.
Did
But
you watch that? Did you watch that special about them and the Avalanche?
oh yeah, and actually, fun little fact: Darren McCarty, my dad was our team's coach growing up. We were playing double A in Birmingham, and he was the coach for I don't even know 7 years. But Griffin McCarty is one of my really good buddies to this day still, and he was on our team, Darren's kid. So Darren would come out and teach us how to check. He'd show us the way, and so I knew Darren growing up, and so I obviously knew that whole story of what happened. But there's definitely some details in that documentary that I did not know about, and it was pretty interesting seeing all of it, seeing the chaos and I knew there was a rivalry, but it was pretty deep rooted, and it was a sweet documentary to watch.
When he came back, when Darren McCarty came back, the Admirals played, it was his second game back, I believe. We were in Grand Rapids. The first game, I think, was against Rochester the night before. And he scored, he may have had a hat trick, but they made a figurine of him celebrating and looking up to the sky, kind of thankful for where he was in his life. And I had that figurine. Yeah, but it was from the weekend. I was at that game, and then the next night seeing him play, and just
wow.
the amount of love for that guy is just unbelievable.
Oh yeah, he's really well loved, like to this day right now. Yeah, and he's been retired for a bit now, but he definitely has a legacy in Detroit. I think part of it is that rivalry with Colorado. He had a lot to say in that rivalry, but that's really cool. I didn't know that story when he came back to. So he was in Grand Rapids when that happened.
He was in Grand Rapids. This is 09, maybe. Yeah, I don't remember what year it was, but yeah, I
Yeah,
remember being there when that weekend. Yeah, his first couple games back.
that's funny.
He ended up with a cup of coffee at the end with Detroit again to go out on the right note. After he cleaned
Yeah,
up and all of this
yeah,
stuff, getting his life
yeah,
straight. So
yeah,
it
he's
was
doing well
really a
now,
good
and
story.
yeah, that is cool. I
Yeah.
didn't know that, but I'll have to ask him about that. Next
Yeah,
time I
yeah,
see him.
it was really great. You had said coaching and you had a charity game. Let's talk about this charity game. What's it all about?
The charity game is so 2019, my dad passed away from ALS, and he was battling it for 10 years, which they usually tell you got 3 to 5 years to live.
Yeah.
And he really just battled through it, pushed through, and he made it through 10 years. And then after he died, so last summer, 2021, I'm pretty sure, or maybe end of 2020, we made a foundation, the Paul C. Apap ALS Foundation. And ALS is one of those diseases most people know about what it is now a lot because remember that ice bucket challenge
Yes.
happened? Ice bucket
That was
challenge
like that's 7, 8 years ago already.
a while ago. Yeah. Yeah. He was still alive. We were dumping ice on him every year for that and couldn't do anything. He stuck there and he was freezing, but he was a trooper about it. But we would do that. And then but anyway, so one reason why we made this foundation, it was and because there is research now, like there's more research than there used to be because of the ice bucket challenge, but at the same time there's still people like who have it right now, like who are living with it, and they might not have as much help. We were lucky enough, we got some help. We got my dad a pretty cool chair he can control with his head, and we had a lift that could lift him up from his chair to his bed, and we had we were able to hire a little bit of nursing help too, and just things like that really helped almost ease the burden for him and for our family, and also his attitude. I mean, he just had the best attitude in the world, and that made it easier for everyone. But really, what we try to do with this foundation is instead of money going to research, this money is going to go to families. Right now, it's just families in Michigan, but we're hoping we can get it big enough to expand it. But we got families in Michigan that we're going to help give nursing care, give wheelchair, really whatever they're asking for. We have a whole process like in line. And this fundraiser game that we did a hockey game. It was actually on Saturday night. We had some pretty big time NHL guys play, so that was cool. Some AHL guys, and then a couple college guys, and we were able to raise like a significant amount of money, a little more than we thought we would, and we're hoping that can help not just one family, but a couple families, and maybe get them really. They'll have to let us know what they want, like what they already have, so we'll get them what they don't have, and hopefully that can, like I said, for our family, there's still, I mean, it's tragic having someone with ALS in your family, but if you can get a little bit of help, it makes it a little bit easier, and their life's a little more independent, I would say.
For everyone, you're right. For everyone, I do a lot of stuff with the Alzheimer's Association, and
Mhm.
the focus not only on the disease and those afflicted, but the unpaid caregivers. I mean,
Oh,
that takes a huge toll. I applaud you
yeah,
for thinking about that,
yeah,
Tommy. Fantastic.
yeah. Thank you. Well, my brother and my sister and I, when we were home, we could help out, but one thing my dad said, he was like, I never want you to just stay home. I still want you to go to college. And so really my mom was like, her full-time job was caretaker on top of being a mom for the three of us. So when were finally able to get some nursing care, and also our family and friends are just like, we're so lucky with the family and friends we had. People would bring us dinner. People would drive my dad when he needed to, help us out when we needed to. We were still so lucky that we had all our family and friends. But once you're able to get some nursing care, then that's a big step too, and that relieved a little bit of not stress, but just to relieve my mom a little bit from
Yeah.
the everyday troubles of, because like he couldn't do anything on his own. So at some point all ALS patients get to that spot where they're fully dependent on people, and whenever you can give them a little help, I think that's pretty important. It's very helpful.
Real quick, for a
Mhm.
website, and not that, like you said, the game has already happened, but people can
Yeah,
check it out and be up to date on things in the future.
yeah. PCALS Foundation. Here, wait, let me. I'll pull it up right here just to make sure.
Sure.
PCA. It's the Policy APAP Foundation, but the website is just PCALS.com.
There you go.
So you can see, yeah, and you can even on there if you know anyone that needs help. You can there's an email link on there, and you can email us and let us know just a little background on the family and what they need help with, and if we can, we'll get to it for sure.
That's great. Let's talk about, you had said doing some coaching this summer. What are you doing there?
Yeah, I'm coaching. Well, actually, most summers I go back and coach at my high school just for a little summer gig. But this summer I came just for a couple weeks. Came to East Lansing because I played at Michigan State for 4 years. So Dan Sturgis, he's the director of hockey operations. He runs this camp. I think it's like 8-year-olds to 14 even, or 13. So there's like 3 groups a day on the ice a couple times a day, and it's fun. I like coaching, so it's fun. Some of these kids are a little crazy, but for the most part, it goes pretty smooth, and it's fun being back on campus and seeing. There's renovations here at the rink, so it's definitely cool to be back and checking it all out.
And at the same time, it allows you to get a workout in here and there too while you get ready for the upcoming season.
Yep, get a workout in. Then I'm actually skating with the guys here, and I don't know as many guys now. Now being it's gonna be my second year out. They got a lot of new guys, 13 or 14 new guys, but it's good to get on the ice with these guys and get ready for their season while I'm getting ready for my season. It's nice to be practicing and training with them.
And you have that target. The contract is signed. You have that target. It's awesome to know that, have everything kind of
Yeah,
settled.
yeah, it is. It does feel good to have a contract signed and know where I'm going to be, and now I just gotta throughout the summer just get better and improve my game and make the most of it.
Now, does this include, are you going to camp in Nashville at all?
Yes, I am going to camp in Nashville. I think September 20th or 21st, maybe, but one of
Okay.
those 2 days. Yeah,
Yeah.
starts.
So you'll get in there and hopefully get a game in.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, if that's in the cards, then that would be great.
That's awesome. Tommy, it's
Yeah,
great to see you.
thanks, Aaron.
Congratulations on your summer and the contract and your charity game. Fantastic work. Good to see you, and I can't wait to see you in the fall.
Okay, thanks, Aaron. I can't wait either. Hopefully, hopefully have a good rest of the summer, and we'll chat again soon.
Sounds good. That's Tommy Apap.